afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Monday, November 9th, 2015, and this is Texan TV News from the Tarleton State University campus here in Stephenville, Texas, and I am Katie Armstrong. In sports news, Texan News reports that by the end of the semester, Tarleton is looking to have established another club sport, women's lacrosse. The women's club lacrosse team is coming to campus after Tarleton added a men's club lacrosse team, men and women's soccer teams, and a men's club rugby team within the past 2 years. A club sport differs from an intercollegiate sport. While intercollegiate sports supply attire, coaches, referees, and scholarships, club sports are required to pay dues to cover the costs of travel, equipment, and attire. They also have to find their own coaches and referees. Club sports find their own opponents to play and places to have their games as well. According to Sierra Mooten, a junior kinesiology major and one of the founders of the women's lacrosse team, they are currently recruiting women to join the team through social media. Mooten said, "We have made a Twitter page called @TSUGirlsLax and a Facebook page, Tarleton State Girls Lacrosse, to help spread the word about this new club sport wanting to come to Tarleton. We have contact information posted on these sites and are able to get back in contact with girls for more information about how to join. Before the team becomes official, they have to come up with a temporary roster to prove to Tarleton Club Sports that they have enough people willing to be a part of the team. About 10 players are needed to get a team started. The women's lacrosse team currently has about 25 and is in the process of becoming an established member of club sports so they can start working on their budget and planning their dues." Mooten also says, "Hopefully we can be official by the end of this semester, but it just depends on how long it takes for club sports to approve us." According to Mooten, the team plans to find scrimmages to play in before they start their actual season. However, until the team is approved by club sports, an official schedule will not be released. Teams they are looking to play other schools including like Texas Tech University, Louisiana State University, Southern Methodist University, and Texas Christian University. In campus news, Tarleton also reports that over the winter break, Tarleton's Baptist Student Ministry, also known as BSM, will be traveling to Oregon, around an hour and 45 minutes away from Rosenberg, Oregon, where the mass shooting took place of Christians on October 1st. Christopher Harper Mercer, a 26-year-old student, shot and killed an assistant professor and 9 students. Also, 9 other students were injured as well in this shooting. These students were said to have been shot possibly because of their Christian beliefs. While the incident was devastating for the entire country, this incident will not hinder the local BSM from spreading their beliefs. From January 3rd to January 9th, about 20 of Tarleton's students will be working with the Northwest Collegiate Ministry on the campuses of Oregon State University, which is 111 miles north of Umpqua, and Portland State University, which is 173 miles north of Umpqua. Clayton Bullion, the BSM's advisor, said, "While the shooting was awful, it has not changed their plans. Their semester starts the week before ours, so we are going to help them with their first of the semester activities," he said. "We want to help them get the word out about their ministries and worship services and the other opportunities they have for students to plug in and connect with them." When discussing the shooting, Bullion explained how his emotions have not changed in a way of fear, but instead, the shooting has given him a reassuring outlook for the need to serve in Oregon. Bullion said, "If anything, it has strengthened my resolve in the need for us to go, in the need for the gospel."
Hi, my name is Clayton Bullion. I'm the director of the Baptist Student Ministry here at Tarleton State, and I've been asked to talk a little bit about what's going on with the BSM and our projects coming up in Oregon over Christmas break. We are taking about 20 students to Oregon. Oregon, the Northwest, is a lot different than here in Texas. Campus involvement looks a little bit different, religious organizations look a little bit different, and so what we're doing is we're splitting up between 2 different campuses. We're going to have about 10 in Corvallis, working with Oregon State, which is a campus of about 30,000 students, and then Portland State, they're in Portland, which is a campus of about 35 to 40,000 students. And the reason we're working with the Northwest Collegiate Ministries, which is the Northwest version of BSM, and their campuses and their organizations are a little bit different. Portland State has about 3 religious organizations on its campus and about 60 students involved total. And so what we're doing is we're going to be there their first week of their spring semester. We're just going to be helping them be out on campus, get the word out, what's going on, inviting students to be a part of that. We're really excited to be a part of that and to partner with other believers in other parts of the state.
Bullion said Portland State is a campus of 40,000 students and only 3 active ministries involved on that campus. Tarleton has 3 strong ministries that meet on Thursday night alone. The BSM has more students that come to 402 on Thursday nights than there are Christians on the entire Oregon campus. Bullion told us that he and his students look forward to standing next to their brothers and sisters in Oregon and helping them proclaim that message, especially now in light of this shooting where hope and life seem to be out of reach. In regional news, the Stephenville Empire-Tribune reports that Stephenville police took the woman who crashed her car through Pizza Hut into custody shortly after 4 p.m. on Friday. Erica Rain Bowling, age 20, has been charged with accident involving personal injury and is being held on a $10,000 bond at the Erath County Jail. She is accused of crashing into the restaurant just before the busy lunch hour, injuring a Pizza Hut employee. The restaurant is open for business while repairs are being made. Also, in regional news, Hood County News reports that a 30-year-old Granbury man, Christopher Glenn Livers, was arrested at about 10:30 a.m. Sunday morning after a disturbance during the worship service at the Way Church on Highway 377 East, in which he threatened to burn down the building. Deputy Chief Alan Hines said that Livers was arrested a short time later as he was leaving Emmanuel Lutheran Church on Fall Creek Highway. Livers was taken to jail and charged with a Class A misdemeanor count of making terrorist threats and a Class B misdemeanor of criminal mischief. Hines added that Livers busted through a door going into the sanctuary and made a threat to burn the place down, referring to the Way Church. Hines also said that the man did have an unknown type of knife on his person, but did not threaten to use the knife that we are aware of at this time. Emmanuel Lutheran was observing communion when Livers was there, but there was no incident that interrupted the service and no alleged criminal activity occurred there. In state news, the Associated Press reports Houston voters defeated a closely watched non-discrimination ordinance last Tuesday. It would have established non-discrimination protections for gay and transgender people in the city. More information from this Associated Press video.
One of the biggest objections we had was the fact that this ordinance allowed biological males, even registered sex offenders, who on any given day identified as a female, to go into a female restroom, shower, or locker room. If that business owner said no, that business owner could be prosecuted. And we thought that was just plain wrong. And Houstonians, I believe, felt that was just plain wrong.
This shows that the liberal leftist ideas of the Democrats, led by this mayor and led by Hillary Clinton, are going to be rejected, not just by Republicans, but by Democrats who came out against this. It's just common sense and common decency. We don't want men in women's ladies' rooms. This had nothing to do with equal rights. We already have equal rights guaranteed under our Constitution.
This was a campaign of fear-mongering and deliberate lies. Deliberate lies. This isn't misinformation. This is a calculated campaign of lies designed to demonize a little understood minority.
It can be really hard to understand about who transgender people are. And part of the reason for that is that most people have never met someone who's transgender. But I think that what's important is to keep in mind we are a part of these schools, we are part of your communities, we are part of your families. And although we may be different in some ways, what's most important is the things that we have in common.
I mean, we're the most diverse large city in the country. So many people from all backgrounds call Houston home that the outcome of this election shouldn't indicate, anything about our great city.
In national news, the president of the University of Missouri system stepped down Monday amid criticism of his handling of student complaints about race and discrimination. President Tim Wolf said his resignation was effective immediately. He made the announcement at the start of what had been expected to be a lengthy, closed-door meeting of the school's governing board. He largely preempted the session in a halting statement that was simultaneously apologetic, clumsy, and defiant. Alluding to recent protests, Wolf said, "This is not about the way change comes about. We stopped listening to each other." He urged students, faculty, and staff to use his resignation to heal and start talking again to make the changes that are necessary. The race complaints came to a head over the weekend when at least 30 black football players announced they would not participate in team activities until Wolf was gone. For months, black student groups have complained of racial slurs and other slights on the overwhelmingly white flagship campus of the state's four-college system. Frustrations flared during a homecoming parade on October 10th when black protesters blocked Wolf's car and he did not get out to talk to them. Police then removed the protesters. Black members of the football team joined the outcry on Saturday night. By Sunday, a campus sit-in had grown in size. Graduate student groups planned walkouts and politicians even began to weigh in. Until Monday, Wolf did not indicate that he had any intentions of stepping down. He agreed in a statement issued Sunday that change is needed and said the university was working to draw up a plan by April to promote diversity and tolerance. The Tigers' next game is Saturday against the Brigham Young University at Arrowhead Stadium, the home of the NFL's Kansas City Chiefs, and canceling it could cost the school more than $1 million. The players said in a statement, "The athletes of color on the University of Missouri football team truly believe injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We will no longer participate in any football-related activities until President Tim Wolf resigns or is removed due to his negligence towards marginalized students' experience. We are united." Head football coach Gary Pinkel expressed solidarity on Twitter, posting a picture of the team and coaches locking arms. The tweet read, "The Mizzou family stands as one. We are united. We are behind our players." Now here's your national and international news and more on Missouri University from the Associated Press.
This is AP News Minute. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visits the White House Monday for his first meeting with President Obama in more than a year. The two will try to repair their relationship after disagreements over the Iran nuclear deal. In Myanmar, an opposition party says it's won about 70% of the vote in national elections. Nobel Peace Prize winner Aung San Suu Kyi leads that party, although the country's constitution essentially bars her from being president. Protests over racial tensions continue at the University of Missouri and Columbia. Black groups have complained about racial slurs and insults for months and want the school president to resign. University football players joined the protests Saturday. And for the second time in 2 days, a freight train derailed in Wisconsin. This train near Madison spilled less than 1,000 gallons of crude oil Sunday. Matt Small, The Associated Press, with AP News Minute.
And now we turn to Dalton Wolverton, bringing you the weather from weather.com.
It's currently 59 degrees here in Stephenville, Texas, and as you can see, we've got cloudy skies. We should warm up to about 66 degrees today, and we have a 0% chance of rain, 58% humidity, and no wind currently. Back to you, Katie.
Today's broadcast was produced by Dalton Wolverton, Alejandra Arguin, Katie Tonkin, and Justin Pack. You can watch Texan TV News live Monday through Friday at 12:30 p.m. on Northland Cable Channel 9. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and become a fan of Texan TV News on Facebook. I am Katie Armstrong. Tune in on Monday for the latest news from the Tarleton State University campus here in Stephenville, Texas.